Trinity Western University is Canada's largest Christian university. It's located on the west coast of Canada near the city of Vancouver. We have many student opportunities at our university. Most of you are in leadership. You're used to being in leadership roles. We have many different kinds of leadership opportunities. We have a branch learning facility called the Laurentian Leadership Centre in the national capital in Ottawa, where our students do full-year internships in the federal government.
As students from India, what special examinations will you have to go through to enroll in your campus other than the regular examinations? Do we have to go through any special English courses?
Generally speaking, you won't have to do any additional English courses of study. Typically, we will take either an IELTS, a TOEFL, a CALE, a number of English assessments, or if students have studied for at least 3 years in an English medium school, we will take that as evidence of their English language ability and been successful in that school. So those are all important characteristics. In terms of additional tests, in Canada we don't require the SAT. So there's no standardized test that we require. What we require simply is your high school transcript with either grade point averages on a 4-point grade point system like what we use, or percentile or percentage rank that we can convert for our structure in order to assess your admissibility.
I believe that a student's character is very important in the life he leads in the future. So I'd like to ask that what does Trinity Western University do in building a student's character?
The university tagline is inspiring hearts and minds. There are many great universities around the world that will develop your mind. You can go to their a long list. You can look at world rankings and you can go and develop your mind. And many of them are exceptional universities. There are a smaller number of universities that commit to developing your character and your heart. And I believe character development is two things. There are people who develop character out of an externalized need to do what other people think they should do. They say, I have to do this, and I do it. And people look from the outside and say that's character. But when you develop character that's part of the heart, you're changing the identity of who those people believe they are and how they interact with other people. And I believe that that's really the center of what we talk about when we're developing character. Because if you just do what everyone tells you to do, eventually there won't be someone there telling you what to do. And you're going to be stuck. What do I do? If you develop your heart, the internal values of what's really important in relationships in life, then when you're standing on your own, you'll be able to stand up for what is true and what is right. Our university is a Christian university, and there's an expression that our founder once said, which is, never do in the dark what you'd be afraid to do in the light. Which is when you're on your own and you're standing there and you have to make a decision, right? You have to be the one that stands by that decision and is held accountable for it. And if you're in the dark and no one's around and no one is holding you accountable, what are you going to do? And that's the true measure of someone's character.
if you get the opportunity to make a PSA, a public service ad, that gives a message to the society about important topics. For example, an advertisement on water conservation or pollution. On what topic would you make?
I think especially for India, I think the thing I'm very, very interested in is the empowerment of women and the protection of women. I think that's the one that I would really, really care about and I care about. So
Trees are not only an essential part of the ecosystem, but they're very essential for cleaning the air and protecting our waterways. And not only protecting our waterways, but maintaining the stability, the homeostasis of our climate. In China, I spent a lot of time in China. Before the Summer Olympics in 2008, they planted, I think, 10 million trees. They planted trees all over the place. And now I go back to China, and all those trees that were saplings are now large trees. And you can see that it's affecting the air quality in the major cities in China. So if you were to ask me what is something that everyone can do at a basic level, it's simple, and everyone could take a role, I would say if everyone in India planted one tree, which isn't that hard to do, right? That'd be, what is that, 1.3 billion trees? That's a lot of trees. That's a lot of pollutants taking out of the air and the environment. That's a lot of, protection of waterways and protecting the ground around your rivers and streams and lakes. So if you were to ask me what's one thing people could do that's really simple that you've done today to show environmental stewardship and responsibility, I think that's probably what I would do.
Our chairman, Sir Dr. A.F. Pinto, is so sensitive about the environment and does a lot of greening drives. One of the things that our kids do is that on their birthday, they bring a sapling to the school and then they plant it in the school across the country. So we're at least planting 270,000 trees at the very least in the country every year.
By the youth.